West Ham United have been getting better and better under David Moyes in recent season. This represents an almighty test for Liverpool. And it's all the way through and it's in. Well, Liverpool want a free kick, they want a foul, but the goal stands. It's Alexander-Arnold, absolutely magnificent goal. And Bowen, and it's on for Fornals, and it's in, it's gone through Alisson. They're both there, and it's over Alisson, and it's in. It's Kurt Zouma this time. That's towards Alexander-Arnold, couldn't take it. Origi can, and will score. It finishes West Ham United 3, Liverpool 2.
Well, it's not often Liverpool have had to hand out a little bit of payback this season. They did the business against Leicester, and after they got the better of the Reds, now West Ham are in the sights of Jurgen Klopp's mentality monsters. It was a shocker at the London Stadium, and no team has ever done the double over Jurgen Klopp in his time with the Reds. It's time to make amends. A 12th successive win would keep the Heat firmly locked on leaders Manchester City. Liverpool taking on West Ham in this late kick-off this Saturday night, and over on LFC TV we'll build up to the game with Matchday live from 4:30, followed by audio commentary live from Anfield from just before kick-off time at 5:30. Welcome to the Matchday Live preview. It's presented by Standard Chartered, and we are in the company this afternoon of Jason McAteer and Jermaine Pennant. The weather's on the turn, back at Anfield again. What's not to like about being a Liverpool fan at the minute?
First of all, I want to say happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you had a nice day yesterday.
I had a very nice day, but we need to put to bed these rumours I was 50 yesterday. Still quite a while to go before that happens.
Who did start that, by the way?
It was one of our esteemed colleagues at LFC TV.
Oh, right, yeah. No, you are.
You're looking good for 50, though.
He's looking great for 50. And I just want to say, I've got my good mate here, who I've got him in person at last, because he kept us going through COVID and lockdown, and we had him on the show, didn't we, a couple of times, and he made us laugh, and he was...
To get him in the UK is a bit of a treat as well, isn't it?
Well, he was like, it was the one who used to go on them holiday programmes.
Judith
Chalmers at one point, were you? Just all over.
Now I'm back now, I'm back for good.
Good to see you.
Never say back for good.
Back for good.
Back for there's a song in there somewhere.
Yeah.
FA Cup has given us a bit more interest, and of course we're all still locked into Wembley fever, aren't we? There's a sniff that we could be back there should we be able to do the business against whichever team wins out of Huddersfield and Notts Forest now.
Listen, it was fantastic, the occasion and winning the cup, and there was so much emotion that went into it as well, and Jurgen's gone on record as saying it was like the Champions League win, wasn't it? The emotion that we all felt, and I think that was again down to COVID times, wasn't it? It was all not being together, winning the league here and not being able to celebrate. So that cup was like we all come together, we all celebrated, me and you were together again, and we celebrated. It was just fantastic. But it whets the appetite, doesn't it? It just makes you think, I want to come back, and that's what it'll do to that dressing room and them boys. And I said the other night against Norwich, I said, you know, these boys set themselves targets, and they might do it in amongst themselves and amongst the dressing room, but the realistic targets, and I feel that the quad is a realistic target that they will have one eye on. As much as they won't say it, they will have their eye on that, on doing that for.
Really good performance against Norwich in the week as well, Jermaine. It was efficient, and I know at the hour point players had not played an awful lot of games. It started to become a little bit more difficult than it needed to be, but they did the business, which Liverpool always seem to do at the moment.
Yeah, especially with key players rested. It's just great to show how much the squad is together, and you know the players that are not playing can step in and still put in a great performance. And you know, Minamino, I'm sure he wants to play regular, but he's still being professional. He's still sticking by it, and he's gotten his chance to score 2 great goals and a great display.
That his best display so far, do you think, in a Liverpool shirt?
Yeah, his most complete display. I think sometimes when he starts games, I think sometimes the game passes him by and he drops in and out. I mean, you can never question his endeavour and his commitment. It's fantastic, and his professionalism, like Jermaine said, it's never in question. But for some reason, it just all went for him the other night. And you get games like that, Jermaine, don't you, where your touch is on, you feel sharp, you feel fit. You know, as much as he doesn't play a lot, he just looked that way. The ball stuck, his distribution was very good, he was direct. Like Jermaine said, he got himself 2 great goals, which is great for him.
How much respect do you have for these players now? And you both straddle that kind of era, if you like, where if you played well, you played every week, but you're also part of squads where things were turned over. When you don't play a lot of games, how difficult is it to come into the side and play as well as that? Yeah,
it is difficult, and this is why I talked about the professional side of it. So every day you'll be training hard, getting ready, or all players in this squad now, getting that when that chance is arriving, they're going to give it 110% on training. They're training like they're going to be playing on the weekend. You can't. In a team like this, you can't, let your mind drift away and not be on board. You've got to be a part of the team now. It's a 24 squad game. Back in the day, it was right. If you're playing well, you start in. But now it's about you've got to be training well. You've always got to be playing well and look after yourself.
The difficulty is you can't replicate competition. You can't replicate the dressing room feeling. As much as you can play games behind closed doors, or back in my day, it was reserve team games. You might have a bit of a trippy lip, mightn't you, if you didn't play and you had to play in the reserves at St Helens or whatever. You get on with it, you try and stay professional, and you do it. That adrenaline's not the same as getting dressed in the dressing room waiting to go out and play against Arsenal, is it? You just can't replicate that. No. And even the fitness as well. As much as you train and say you come back from injury and you're doing all that stuff in the gym and then you go and play a game, you're still breathing, aren't you, when you get your first game?
You can't, like it's a replica match fitness. You can't, doesn't matter what you do on a training, how much running you do. Match day game fitness is one off. It's a one-off. It's because the players are throwing you off. You've got to be, always on the go. It's so difficult.
Let's take a look at the draw then, and the possibilities where Liverpool and the other teams are concerned as well. And Everton fans would say it's been favourable for Liverpool. It's wound them up now. I think Nottingham Forest and Huddersfield still a tough game. That will be played on Monday night, by the way. Middlesbrough, Chelsea, Southampton, Man City. It opens up the possibility in those semi-finals of 4 huge teams going head-to-head.
Well, the sponsors will be happy.
Yeah,
I know that. You throw them teams in the mix, and you'd virtually say you're going to get like a Chelsea City or a Liverpool Chelsea, but they've stayed away from each other. As much as what you're saying there, Everton, would say, Liverpool have got the easiest draw. In some ways they haven't, because there's an expectation that they're going to have to win it. People are just going to think it's a foregone conclusion. That brings pressure in itself on the Liverpool players. But also they're away from home, and in a cup game, home advantage is massive, isn't it?
Home advantage is massive any game.
Yeah.
And especially in the FA Cup, where it's whoever turns up on the day. And Forest are going to be, obviously we know they're the underdogs. They're going to have nothing to lose. They're going to be fearless. Yeah. And that, is going to work against Liverpool. So it's going to be a tough...
Do you know something we don't? Because they've got to get past Huddersfield. Should have got a bet on Forest as well.
That's his
that's what it is. It's a foregone conclusion. Forest are through.
The Forest have got the home advantage there, so it's going to be Forest. I've already seen it.
Right, there's going to be more from Jason and Jermaine to come in just a minute. We're going to look ahead to the game today, and to kick us off, let's cross over to Becky Davis.
Yeah, thanks very much, Pete. As you mentioned there, the Reds last in action midweek in the FA Cup, and we are sure to see plenty of changes, I think, today from the side that dispatched Norwich here midweek on Wednesday night. A few injury issues for Jurgen Klopp to deal with today, though we know that illness is definitely going to keep John Matip out of the team, and it does come a touch too soon today as well for Thiago and Roberto Firmino. Naby Keita and Curtis Jones, they will undergo late fitness checks just before kick-off this evening. Title ambitions, of course, are always at the forefront of Liverpool's minds, and the gap with Manchester City could be just 3 points by this evening ahead of their game against United tomorrow. But West Ham, they've got a lot at stake too. Were they to pull off a result here today, they would slip into the final Champions League spot in the table. But a run of 2 wins in their last 8 on the road doesn't inspire too much confidence, really. The Hammers, of course, will take confidence from the fact that they are one of only 2 teams, themselves and Leicester, who've inflicted a defeat on Liverpool this season. 3-2 it finished at the London Stadium back in November. And speaking ahead of this one, Jurgen Klopp knows his side have got to put in a much better performance here this evening.
In the game against West Ham, I don't think we were ourselves, and we should make it much more difficult for the other team to score than we did that day. We are not famous for having struggles with defending set pieces, and then protection was just not good. And there's so many things after that game. Yeah, you're right. We had to help our lot. That's what you should use a defeat for. Otherwise, it makes absolutely no sense. And we used that game. That's true. But it's not now something special. It's like with defending set pieces, it's about really being in the situation. So we have the physical basis to defend set pieces most of the time. Sometimes we are slightly like shorter than the team, than the opponent or whatever. But usually we have the physical, we have the organization to do it. So then it's about concentration level in this moment, very much. And that day we obviously had a slight problem with that. I don't think we had it after that too often, but that doesn't mean anything for tomorrow. But thank you for reminding me. So I will tell the boys again today that there's something to improve.
This week as well, around the place, the mood in your players, the confidence in your players, even just on the training ground, what sort of tangible difference have you seen from winning the trophy at the weekend? What does that breed, the hunger in your side?
Oh, the boys are confident, were confident before. Yes, I think what is a big difference that it's a while ago that we had a final, and feeling the size of a final, especially when it's at Wembley, 50-50, massive crowd, massive noise, sensational atmosphere. Smelling that, experiencing that is really cool. And yes, definitely we want to have that more often again, that's true. I said it now a couple of times and people might think I'm a bit mad, but with the final whistle or the final shot, whatever, it didn't feel any different to the Champions League final. There's no difference. And that's cool. That's absolutely cool. And yes, we want to have that more often. It doesn't mean we'll get it more often. It just means we want to have it more often.
Lots riding on it, lots riding on all the games now, but from West Ham's point of view as well, if we take a look at the top of the table just prior to the 3 o'clock kickoffs today, it's how tight it is. Liverpool, of course, have eyes on some kind of psychological blow being struck before Man City and Manchester United play at 4:30 tomorrow. Look at West Ham as well, with a positive result, could leapfrog Manchester United into 4th place. So much riding on it, and of course David Moyes might think, Jason, that he's got Liverpool's number where set plays are concerned, as Jurgen Klopp discussed there as well. We've not seen that frailty from Liverpool for quite a number of years, have we? Is that something they'll have worked on, do you think, during the week, or have they got better at them since then?
Yeah, and they had a lot of joy, didn't they, down at their stadium? 2 corners thrown underneath Ali, put him under pressure, everyone got around him, and they scored twice from it, and it ended up costing Liverpool the game in the end. So it is something they'll look at. But if you're a team that is going up against a team that's very good at set plays, and let's not disregard Liverpool, they're sitting at the top of the table when it comes to scoring from set pieces. West Ham are not far behind them, but you have to stress to your team, you don't give away silly free kicks, you don't give away silly corners, you don't let the ball come in from throw-ins with flick-ons. You're trying to eradicate the set play situation around your box. That's what you have to do, and if you do concede one, then you've got to be you've got to be on it, you've got to defend it properly, and you've got to challenge properly and win your battles, and that's what you've got to do. But there is more to it than just set plays when it comes to West Ham. Let's not take that away from them. Yeah,
you have to have the delivery, you have to have great set plays, players whipping in that ball. But no doubt Jurgen would have had studying these videos of West Ham set players, and he would have changed the personnel and where marking, the zone and all, man marking. So I'm sure that's going to be fixed for this game too.
Yeah, Kevin Nolan gets a lot of the credit apparently for the set plays. He was obviously great at them at Newcastle with him and Andy Carroll as well. One interesting thing that David Moyes did say is that he felt they got about Liverpool a bit more than most teams did in London. Is that something
they were physical?
Will they be able to do that here today though against the Liverpool team at Anfield?
Tactically, I don't think he will do the same thing. I mean, we talk about set pieces, obviously, but I don't think they'll be as physical. He'll want, obviously, challenges made, but I think it'll be more of they'll sit a lot deeper, and it'll be more of a low block, and then they'll try and play out on the counter-attack. They've got pace, they've got some creative players as well. We've not seen the teams yet, so we don't know whether Souček is going to play. Obviously, Bowen's been a great signing for him, hasn't he? Creswell didn't play in the week. You'd expect him to come back in on that left-hand side. He has tinkered with 3 at the back and 4 at the back as well. Obviously, with Ogbonna being injured, which has been a big loss. I think it was against us he got injured and went off, and I don't think he's featured since. And they only won 2 from the next 7 after they played us. So he was a big loss defensively for them and shook them up a little bit. But I want to stress again, there's more to West Ham than just set plays. They're a very, very good outfit, and they're sitting tucked in behind United for a reason. Is because they know what they're doing. They're defensively organised and they can score goals. Yeah,
well, we're in a great position where centre-backs is concerned. Admittedly, with that threat though, Jermaine, no Joel Matip today because he's not well. Might Konate have come in anyway, do you think, for this one today, where he looks to keep all of those players fresh and with games in their legs?
I feel so, especially with the pace of Antonio. We know Matip's not the quickest of our centre-back, so Konate with his strength in the air as well, pace, it would make sense of starting him today. So we probably will be a little bit stronger there going into the game. And also, I feel the game against West Ham, we wasn't on song. We've been a lot better since then. I'm made leaps and bounds, so I think it'll be a total different game this game round.
Just a word on that front three as well, Jason, that the kind of impact and start that Diaz has made, all this talk about maybe he'll come in, he'll try and adapt to the Premier League. He's having none of that. He's in the team and he wants to stay there, doesn't he?
He does, yeah, and his performance against Chelsea in the Cup was absolutely outstanding. I thought when he got taken off, it was our sort of get-out ball. He was our get-out player, wasn't it? And that kind of went, didn't it? And we were on the back foot then, and I feared for Liverpool after he went off. But obviously they hung out and got the penalties, and we win the Cup. But yeah, he's been absolutely outstanding. He just looks like he's hit the ground running, doesn't he? He seems so comfortable. He seems to be right up to speed, knowing what Jurgen wants. Yeah, but the thing is, it's all about rotation and horses for courses, I think. Whether he plays today remains to be seen, but obviously Firmino's going to come back in, and we're looking like a very, very strong front five. And then you've got Origi and Minamino, who have got minutes in the previous games as well. So yeah, it's good for options.
Roberto Firmino looking good in training, not ready for this one today, but we'll hear from Virgil van Dijk as he celebrates the importance of diversity at Liverpool Football Club. He's helping to shine a spotlight on the club's Red Together campaign that takes centre stage at this weekend's game.
Firstly, how important is it that the club takes on its responsibility to fight for equality and inclusion as well?
It's very important. I think especially in the society we live at the moment, the world we live in at the moment, I think it's very important to fight for each rights. And I'm very proud to be playing for a club like Liverpool that is definitely doing that. It's good to see, and it's very important.
When you look at the dressing room, there's so much diversity within the squad, isn't there? So how does that impact upon things as well?
It impacts a lot. I think it's fantastic to learn different cultures, to see so many from all over the world, so many players from all over the world, and get to know each other's experiences back home, and obviously languages, how everyone is looking towards life, what their values are, and I think it's very good to be able to mix with each other, to respect each other, and to learn from each other each and every day.
And we have such a diverse fan base, of course, as well, from all corners of the globe. So what does that mean to you, and what does that mean to Liverpool Football Club as well?
It means a lot. It means a lot. So obviously, since when I arrived at the club, it was, known for me that our fan base is worldwide. But for example, when I went to America on tour, and I saw so many fans there, and obviously on social media I see so many fans from Asia, from basically all over the world, and it's incredible, and something that we all enjoy, and we feel the love as well, and it's good that Liverpool is so diverse in this case as well, and everyone feels like they can be part of this beautiful club.
And you and so many other players have, been really active in supporting the LGBT community, taking the knee, of course, as well in every game. How does it make you feel to take that stand?
Well, I think it's important because we have a platform. We are well-known players in this case. People are looking up to us, and we are an example for the new generation, for example, but also for our generation, I think. So to give the right example is a very good thing to do, and we all feel responsible to do that as well. And I just want to, if I'm talking personal, I just want the world to be a better place, and in all kinds of ways, and that everyone is just nice to each other and live their happy life, because there's only one. It sounds cliche, but it is. Just make the most of it and be nice to each other. And I think that's not too difficult to do. And obviously fight for your right is obviously a very important point as well. But it starts with just let everyone be there what they want to be.
So, Red Together, LFC's commitment to equality, diversity, and also to the wider community as well. Inclusion so important, isn't it? And the manager and captain reaffirming this message in today's programme as well. We can hear more, and we will hear more from Virgil, as well as fellow centre-back Ibu Konate, and our Matchday live coverage on LFC TV and LFC TV Go with Jason, Jermaine and myself. And build-up starts from 4:30 here at Anfield, when we'll bring you the team news, and we'll also hear more from Jurgen Klopp as well. Steve Hunter is joined by Mark Lawrenson today for live commentary on the gantry at 5:30, and then again at around 7:30 we'll bring you analysis, interviews as well, looking back on what we hope is a big win for the Reds this afternoon. If you can, join us on LFC TV and LFC TV Go. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you later. Bye-bye.